Okay, so let's move on to the insert operation. As usual, you can insert at the beginning, you can insert at the end or in between, and there are different functions for doing this. They are the same functions you use with arrays. So inserting at the end, then you use the append method. So you use the append method. So how to do that? You call the list using the name, then you call the function append, and you pass it the value that you want to give it. For example, cow. So if we do that, then we print animals. We should be able to get at the end, as you can see here, we now have cow. Maybe we can just do the before and after. So before the updating, you see before we didn't have cow, and now at the end we have cow. So this is before, this is after. Okay, let's move on and see how we can use the insert. So now we want to go to inserting at the beginning. So here you use the insert function. So with the insert function, you call the name of the list, then insert. So as you can see here, IntelliSense tells you the parameters that it's going to take. So the index and what you want to insert. So the object. And it tells you for this one, it's supposed to be a string. So insert, then we're going to give it the index of 0 because we want to insert at the beginning, then comma, then the value that we want to insert. For example, we want to insert a horse. Okay, so we will print animals. Then save our work. I'll just do clear here. Then I'll run the code using that command. And now we can see that before at the beginning we had dog, but now we have horse. So that's how you insert at the beginning or anywhere else for that matter. So you use the insert function, then you give it the index. So if you wanted to insert between cat and goat, then you give it index number, is it 1 or 2? Experiment on that. Now, the other bit is on inserting or joining lists. So you do this using the extend function, and I'm giving you this as a challenge. So read around and find out how you can join two lists using the extend function. So let me know in the comments if you're able to find a good way to do that. Okay, so to remove a value from the list, you use the remove function. So here we want to let's say remove the horse from the list. So to do that, the name of the list, then remove, like that. Then you pass it the value that you want to remove. For example, horse. So let's just comment this line and comment this one, so that we can see here the before and the after. So I'll just do Control S to save, then clear, then do Python list operations. So I'm repeating this different ways, .py. so that you can also learn. Okay, so maybe I mistyped something there. I'll just clear again, then go back there. Okay, good. So we have on our before, we have the host. On our after, we do not have it. So that is exactly what the remove function does. So again, it's the name of the list, then dot remove, then the value that you want to remove. So let's look at slicing. Slicing is a powerful feature in Python that allows you to perform efficient data manipulation and analysis. So it's important to understand it. We didn't do it in arrays, but it's the same concept, so it's important that you understand it here. Generally, the syntax is the list name, then square brackets, then it has a start number, then full colon, then a stop number, then full colon, then a step. So we can only understand this through practice. We can use, for example, our numbers array. So I'll just do the print, not array really, but list. So print number list, and then we can do, for example, for the start, we can give it 2, then we see what we are going to have. Then we give it 4 for the stop, where we want it to stop. So let's just see what this is going to give us. So I'll save, clear, then run the code. Okay, so we just again comment this and this. Okay, so we can see that we have a 3 and a 4. So let's just bring our numbers array down here so that we can be able to see it. I'll just copy that and paste it here as a comment. Okay, so we see that is giving us 3 and a 4. So what does that mean? What does this 2 mean? So that implies that 2 means the index. So that is the start. So that's why we are getting here a 3. Then what does 4 mean? So 4 also means the index. So the index really 0, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So it's the index, but it's not printing 5, because normally it is that the stop value is actually the index minus 1. So it's normally going to stop at minus 1 of the index. So it's only going to go up to 4. So that's why we have 4 here. So not very easy to understand this at the first time, but when you keep practicing, you'll be able to understand better. But for now, just understand that for the stop value, it's actually the index minus 1. So it's always going to stop at the index just before that particular value. Now, let's look, for example, we want to start just at index 0, and we want to go up to 4, but we now want to put a step rather. So a step, for example, we want to step 2. So let's save this and print, run our code. So we can see that this is just taking this first 4 numbers, and it's only going to print the first value. Then it's going to step by 2. So it's going to skip this one and print this one. You see now our list only has 1 and 3. So that's how, for example, you can print the odd numbers. You can actually remove, for example, the stop if you wanted to print the entire list, all the odd numbers in the list. So all these values, it's important to mention, they are optional. So you can do without the start, you can do without the stop, you can do without the step. So for now, we've just removed the stop, but remember the full colon still have to be there. So if I save this and I clear here, and I run the code, then you can see that now we have a step of 2. We are starting at 1, then we are going to 3, then we are going to 5, and finally we are going to 7. So that is step, and the step can be any number. You can even step 3. Now what happens, so for example, the step is out, and we also don't want the start, but we give it the stop. Let's say, for example, 4. So what will happen? So I'll just save and run, then we'll have a look into that. So you can see, if you do that, then it's going to print from the beginning up to index 4 minus 1, so up to index 3. So remember, 4 here is at index 3. 4 here is at index 3. It's important to remember that. So it's going to, remember, for the stop, it's always going to be the index minus 1. So it's going to stop at index 3, which is the value 4, which is being printed there. What happens then if we, what happens if we do, for example, just the start? We want it to start at index 3 and nothing else. So save, clear, run. So if you do index 3, then it's going to start from index 3. So the index 3 here, whoosh. So the index 3 here is actually the number 4. So that is index 3, and it's going to print all the way to the end. It's really fun playing around with these slicing features. And as I mentioned, it is very important that you understand how to use slicing, because it's important in data manipulation and data analysis. So let's move on to sorting a list. Oh, I just remembered something important. So it's important to mention that when you slice a list, it only creates a copy of that list, but it does not alter the original copy. So for example, right now, if I clear this and run the code, then you see the original copy is still there. So the original copy remains. So slicing only creates a copy. So the original copy is being printed by this statement. Then the first one here, this one is being printed by the sliced list statement. So please remember that. Okay. Just comment this out. Then you go to sorting. So sorting, you can sort either in ascending order. So to do that, you do the name of the list. Our list is already sorted. So we can do print here. Then we call the number list. The number list is already sorted, but generally you can just do sort like that. So that's not a very good example. Let's just run it and see. So it's still going to be the same. Let me see. So I have just learned that you need to do the sorting outside, but as I said again, the number list has already been sorted. So maybe we can just sort the animals list. So animals dot sort like that. So once you do that and you print animals, so you can always print the before and the after so that you can compare. Okay, paste, so save, clear here, and then run. So we can see that we've been able to sort in ascending order. So the cat and the cow are now the ones that are beginning. So that's how you sort in ascending order. Now we can also try the descending order. So for descending order, we can print a number list. Okay. Then we can call number list and the sort function. So for this one, if you want to reverse, then if you want to do it in descending order, you have to use the reverse parameter, and you have to set it to true like that. So this will now sort our numbered list in descending order. So let me just comment this print, and we can run our code. Okay, so we see that before we sorted, it was in ascending or some randomly organized, and now it is in descending. So that's how you do the sorting. Now, sorting, of course, is an O of N operation. Okay, so lastly we look into searching a list. You can search a list the same way we did with an array, so you can loop through as you compare with an if statement. But here, I just want to show you how to check the membership using the in operator. So you can always do if then a certain item, for example, cat in animals. If it's there, then, for example, we want to print found. Then else we want to say print not found, just like that. So the in operator is going to check. So if I save and run, we can see that we have found down here because the cat is there. But if we tried something else, for example, did we have a hen? Yes, we didn't have a hen, so not found. Not found. So the in operator is used to check whether a particular item is in the list. So you can try it out also with the number list and see whether it works. So that is it for this particular video. I hope you've enjoyed all the list operations. In the next videos, we are going to look at the other Python data structures, that is tuples, sets, and dictionaries. So thank you for sticking to the end. See you in the next video. In the meantime, bye-bye.